That being said, he can beat up anybody at Barstool.
Sure,
He can beat up any influencer that he steps into. He can beat up any retired MMA guy. I mean, he's as tough as you can get until you start fighting boxers.
Real boxers.
Subscribe to the podcast, KFC Radio on YouTube.
Bang. I know that you've interviewed Jake Paul before.
Yes.
He's been a part of, the show. He's a good guest and all that. But also you've been very realistic about what he is as a fighter. If you just grabbed some, like Dominican kid off the street who's training in a real boxer, who would win?
Equal weights?
Yeah.
So if it was a 190-pound boxer versus Jake Paul, a boxer would win every time. Would it
be a fight? Like, would it go the distance?
No,
would it
Jake
be?
Paul would be. I think Jake Paul would be an excellent bouncer, and I think he has the opportunity to be a very good amateur boxer at some point. But I see nothing in Jake right now that translates to being a very good professional boxer. He's flat-footed. He doesn't move backwards well. He has next to no defense. He telegraphs his punches. I mean, all these things. That being said, he can beat up anybody at Barstool. He can beat up any influencer that he steps into. He can beat up any retired MMA guy. I mean, he's as tough as you can get until you start fighting boxers.
Real boxers.
Yeah,
but if it's like I think everyone would agree, like a professional boxer right now in his prime, sure. What about someone who's like, they're not professional yet either, but they are training for real. I've been doing it their whole life, that sort of thing. Yeah, it would still.
Then it all depends on his chin, and I don't think his chin has really been tested except for that time he went back on the ropes against Tyrone Woodley, which should have been ruled a knockdown because the ropes had saved him from being knocked down. So, like Jake and Logan, I spoke with Triple H at the Canelo fight, and he was like, "Large, I got to be honest. I've had to push through so many celebrities who've come to do wrestling. You think about how many celebrities have been in wrestling rings ever since I was a kid. You've always had, that type, and even wrestlers who aren't athletic. Yeah, like wheeling out Andre the Giant towards the end of his career was not an easy thing to fluff up for them. He's like, this kid is an elite athlete. I feel the same way
flying through the air and taking bumps and shit is wild.
I feel the same way about Jake. I think he's a very good athlete, and I think he's a generational promoter. You haven't seen promoters like that since, Conor McGregor, who has been, hasn't won a real fight in such a long time. And then before that, probably Adolf Hitler. Like, you got a bunch of people that kind of believe in that shit. So I think Jake Paul is elite as far as that goes. But when I look at the light heavyweight division where he would exist, he wouldn't do very well. He could go into any gym and be competitive with people or be better than people who are around the same year and a half into it, like 100%.
Sure,
but that leap.
But I guess that's
leap.
That's where I give him credit. Is like the argument should be like, what other YouTubers could he beat up? Because that's what he is.
Yes, 100%.
And he's made he's got people even debating, could he beat up a real boxer?
Yeah.
And the answer is no. But the fact that the question's even being asked is a testament to, I think, like how well he.
If he beats up Tommy Fury, though, then everything's proven, right? Tommy Fury is terrible.
Same thing, right?
Tommy Fury is Jake Paul without the personality.
Yeah,
so
Jake Paul with an accent,
doesn't
right?
matter. But I will tell you right now, even though I say he's not a good boxer, he is very good for boxing. The first time I had paid for a Jake Paul fight, and by the way, he's very good to me. Yeah, he came on. Remember when I said, "Oh, my son's a fan. Get him on."
Yeah,
spoke to my son. That's big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But after one of his fights, one of my kids said to me, "Dad, Montana Love, next time he fights, can you let me know?" I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? Like that.
For sure. I watched that fight too.
Montana Love was fun, right?
I like Montana Love. He's got a sweet tooth. Like eat candy.
Yeah, and he brings in the French Bulldog. He's fighting Mexican. He brings in the sombrero. You know what I mean? That's old school Mayweather shit.
For a dead sport, that's what you need.
Yeah, Amanda Serrano. Like, to put life into this.
He's very good to the boxers and fights for MMA rights and all that sort of
shit.
He's very smart. He puts Dana in a corner with that shit. Because you know that you can't pay everyone all the money in the world, but he makes it seem that way. And then... but it is interesting. I do think that he'll probably never fight a real boxer, right? Because
why would he?
Right, but also, because he says things like, "I am a legit boxer." Well, then you either gotta be behind closed doors. You got to admit, like, "Oh yeah, I'm just like a promoter who's stoking the fire," or you gotta then prove it and fight a legit boxer. But yeah, he'll never do that because the money train stops then.
I think you guys right now, if we put you guys, just you two, in a room for 15 minutes, you could find 10 people that Jake Paul should fight. If he fights twice a year and does those 10 people that he won't lose to, but he'll sell tickets, that's Jake Paul's next 5 years.
For sure.
He's
And it's
in
gonna be
such
great.
a sweet spot
he
to all
did
of a
it.
sudden fight.
Yeah. And
You know
earned it,
what
by
I
the way,
mean?
because he is in shape and you do train and all that.
Yeah,
So.
he beat up Joe Manganiello. Get that. I'd pay
Yeah.
for that, right? That handsome son of a bitch. All right, that's one. You know what I mean? Let's bring him in. That's two. Honestly. So, yeah, so I'm a
That'd be
fan,
awesome.
but I'm skeptical.